The name of this shared sign is the license plate. We had made plans to fly Dad to Houston to spend time with my brothers' family and children. We thought spending some time with the Nietos, grandkids, would help to keep Dad busy and entertained. He loved sports and the three boys were in all sports, from baseball to soccer to football and others. After Mom's service and everyone's departure, Dad was very sad, and we decided to make an appointment for him with his local priest, just to talk about it before our upcoming flight to Houston. We parked at the church's parking lot, and started to walk on the sidewalk towards the entrance to the rectory. The rectory and church are on a busy street, and usually lots of cars are parked in front. That Tuesday, only one car was parked in the entire half-block the church and rectory covered. The vehicle was a white van, and it happened to be parked right in front of the entrance to the rectory, where we had to turn left. As we walked towards the rectory, I was so tired that I was just looking to the ground, but as we got to the entrance, something inside told me to look to my left, and as I did, I saw the sign that my entire life I was called by my middle name by my folks. It was only when we got to this country, that I had to go by my first name, and my parents were too used to my middle name to change. My middle name is not a common name in the U.S., and definitely not in Los Angeles. In fact, I had never seen my middle name in any of those pre-made mugs, keychains, not even other kids with the same name. The only place I had seen my last name written anywhere was in Paris when I was going for my morning run, and saw a graffiti wall that said, Amaury Negotiations. To this day, I have not clue what that was about, but my middle name is Amaury, so it was a pleasant surprise to see it written somewhere for the first time, even if it was graffiti. As I looked over to my right to the white van parked, I saw its license plate, and that was the second time I had seen my middle name written anywhere, and definitely, the first time in LA. The license plate was Amaury 1, that I knew that was a sign from Mom and told my brother right behind me to take a look at it. He thought the same thing. However, the sign was not just to say, I am okay. I knew the sign was telling us she wanted us to pay attention to what was about to take place in the rectory in the talk with the priest. Therefore, I turned to my brother and said, I have no clue what the talk is going to be about, but Mom wants us to pay close attention to it. That we sat down with the priest, and we didn't tell him anything about the sign so not to take focus away from his talk with Dad. As he asked Dad how he was doing, we expected Dad to tell him how sad he was, but what came out of Dad's mouth floored my brother and I. He went on and on how he thought he was going to die in the flight to Houston because he was afraid of flying and thought he was going to have a heart attack. He went on and on. At that time, we knew what Mom wanted. Dad had always been afraid of flying because of an emergency landing he was in a while back. His flight lost an engine en route and had to make an emergency landing in the middle of a snowstorm. After he agreed to take the plane with us to Houston, we thought he was finally over his fear, but he wasn't. Mom had always told us not to push him to fly in the past because she was afraid that he was older and could medical problems in the flight from his fear, so we had not. Mom's sign was again telling us to pay attention to his fear, and drive him. We did. The shared signs here are from online community members, website and app users, and participants in my Grief Angels open virtual grief support groups. If you would like to share a sign, please visit the Shared Signs section of the My Grief Angels website, mygriefangels.org.my. Grief Angels is a welcoming, inclusive and non-denominational online grief support community for and by people grieving the loss of loved ones. For more information on the many free services and resources for people grieving loved ones, including open virtual peer-led grief support groups by type of loss experienced, please visit the mygriefangels.org website.